In a peaceful Kenyan village lived a beautiful maiden named Zawadi. Her family was poor, but her heart was rich with kindness. Living in a modest mud hut at the village's edge, far from the wealth of the royal court, Zawadi never complained. She was known for her generosity, always helping anyone in need, whether by carrying firewood for a sick neighbor or sharing her meager food. Her beauty wasn't just in her striking features, her deep brown eyes, glowing skin, or radiant smile, but in her pure spirit. Every day, she would rise before dawn to fetch water, collect firewood, and tend to the family's goats with strength and grace beyond her years. One morning, Prince Mosi, known for his wisdom and strength, traveled through the dense forest to reach his royal school. He often felt like a prisoner of the palace, disliking the long path. On this day, he got lost. The forest, once familiar, became a maze. Desperate, he wandered aimlessly, his heart gripped with fear of wild beasts as the sun sank lower in the sky. Then, a soft voice broke through the silence. "Are you lost, sir?" asked Zawadi, appearing unexpectedly in the forest. Dressed in simple, humble clothing, she carried herself with grace. Mosi, relieved yet embarrassed, confessed he was lost. Zawadi smiled warmly. "Do not worry. I know this forest well. I will help you." Mosi was stunned. He had expected a guide with more experience, but here was this kind maiden offering her help. Grateful but unsure, he followed her as she spoke of the forest's trees, the river, and the animals. She knew the hidden trails known only to the villagers. Mosi, enchanted by her knowledge and gentle nature, trusted her without question. Eventually, they reached the main road. Mosi recognized the path and, grateful, said, "How can I repay you for your kindness?" Zawadi shook her head. "I do not need anything in return. Helping others is what I do." Touched, Mosi, a prince used to wealth, knew that Zawadi's worth was beyond any treasure. Before parting ways, he gave her a royal seal as a token of appreciation. "Take this," he said. "May it remind you that kindness is never forgotten." Zawadi accepted the gift with a smile, but cared little for wealth. She valued peace and the well-being of those around her. Days later, Zawadi continued her daily life, but thoughts of Mosi lingered in her heart. Then, one morning, news spread that Mosi was coming to visit the village. Zawadi felt nervous, not accustomed to grand celebrations. When Mosi arrived, his grand entourage impressed the villagers, but Zawadi's attention was drawn to Mosi himself. Their eyes met, and Mosi, smiling, approached her. "Zawadi," he said, "you are the kindest soul I've ever known. Will you marry me?" Surprised and moved, Zawadi smiled softly. "I never expected anything in return," she replied. "But I will marry you, not because you are a prince, but because you have a heart full of kindness." And so, Prince Mosi and Zawadi were married. Their reign was marked by wisdom, fairness, and love. Zawadi's kindness became the foundation of their rule, and the village flourished. Zawadi found her place beside Mosi not because of wealth, but because of the strength of her heart.